Hey friends, today I'll be talking about how I network authentically as a freelance filmmaker. It's not what you know, it's who you know. You've likely encountered this phrase at some point or another, sparking questions about how to connect with others in your industry. How can we improve our networking skills, and what does networking truly involve? Are there guidelines to follow, key considerations to keep in mind, or is it better to approach it without any preparation? If you are a freelancer, chances are that you need to network more than others. You also rely on networking for potential projects and clients. However, this doesn't mean that networking should be forced or salesy. Some people have an undeniable talent for making a great first impression, while others may find it more challenging. Having spent over a decade working in sales before transitioning into a creative career as a filmmaker, I've noticed that certain skills came more naturally to me than others. This led me to reflect on how my experiences meeting thousands of people have shaped the way I now approach networking as a freelance filmmaker. My goal is to share what I've learned through a video, offering insights on how to connect with others in an authentic, organic way without ever compromising on honesty. So, what is networking? Networking at its core is about building genuine relationships. It's not just about exchanging business cards or adding someone on LinkedIn. The purpose of networking should much rather be about starting meaningful connections based on trust, shared interests, and mutual respect. I feel like this goes for all kinds of interactions you have, really. I'm often surprised how easy it is to find connections simply by being nice to people. It may sound unusual, but the truth is, you never know what the person ahead of you in line might be working on. Networking opportunities aren't limited to formal events. I feel like you can connect anywhere. When you approach networking with authenticity in mind, it becomes less of a transactional experience, which takes off the pressure of having to talk to everyone. For me, this is a huge part of my approach. By not having any expectations about things that don't lie within my control, you can start to get curious. I have encountered multiple situations that I would have never thought to be so hugely helpful for my career. But that's a bit of the point, really. Because when you don't have any expectations, you can let yourself be free enough to talk about whatever comes up. You might not even talk about the craft itself. Instead, you find yourself talking about your running goals. And in doing so, you start to feel that you get along well with each other. Before you know it, they've asked you for your card and want to collaborate on a project that ties in with both of your passions. This is the beauty of networking. The ability to connect with others on a deeper level and build relationships that could benefit both parties involved. Additionally, networking also allows for opportunities to learn and grow. By surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals and professionals in your field, you have the chance to gain new insights, knowledge, and perspectives. This not only expands your understanding of the industry, but also challenges you to think outside of the box and innovate. Moreover, networking can open doors to new career opportunities, whether it's through a job referral or simply by being in the right place at the right time. Building a strong network can lead to potential job offers or collaborations that could take your career in a whole new direction. So in fact, it is fair to say that sometimes it really isn't just about what you know, but who you know as well. The core principles of networking. Just as a network connects devices, filmmaking involves connecting people and resources. A freelance filmmaker might need to collaborate with other freelancers, for example, editors, cinematographers, or sound designers, or even agencies and production companies. Think about wanting to paint a beautiful picture. You have the idea and the passion. You know exactly how you want to mix the colors and brush the colors onto the canvas, but you're missing some paint and brushes. Then you meet a friend who's a skilled artist and has all the supplies you need. Together you can combine your ideas and their tools to create a masterpiece that wouldn't have been possible alone. I know this isn't the best comparison, but you get my point here. Similarly, in networking within filmmaking, individuals can share resources and expertise with each other, creating projects that are more robust and innovative than they could have achieved alone. This also allows for a diversity of perspectives and strengths to be incorporated into the project, making it more well-rounded and ultimately successful. I will never forget the first day I was a runner on a set and the director screamed action. I was fascinated how every person watching the screen had their eyes on something completely different. One person focused solely on the way the hair was styled in the scene, how the curtains were placed behind the TV screen, the way the light cast shadows across the face, or the subtle wrinkles on the dress. I was astonished by the way that every person on set had their own completely different view of things, and combining it all together, the once very abstract idea of the director became a real scene on screen. That simply wouldn't be possible without knowing and working with other talented people in the industry. This just shows us that especially within the filmmaking community, everything has to do with networking. The only jobs I am getting are because of referrals or personal connections, which is pretty wild to say and also something I want to diversify within time, but for most freelancers, this is how they get booked. So let's talk about 3 practical tips for networking. Number 1, be proactive. Don't wait for networking opportunities to come to you. Actively seeking them out, in strong contrast to reactive behavior, proactive people understand that no matter what happens to them, they will always have the choice how to choose to respond. If you are interested in exploring the vital topic of proactivity, I highly recommend the chapter on this subject in Stephen R. Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's an insightful and valuable read that delves deeply into the principles of taking initiative and responsibility. However, precisely this means to actively look for people to connect with, joining online communities and reaching out to people you admire or want to work with. This could involve connecting with others, expressing your interest in building a relationship, and offering your support whenever they might need it. By being proactive in your networking efforts, you'll increase your chances of meeting new people and making valuable connections. Keep in mind that connecting with others has never been easier. With endless opportunities and minimal costs, reaching out is more accessible than ever. Add value first. Instead of just trying to get something out of networking, think about how you can add value to others. This mindset not only helps with building genuine connections, but also creates a positive reputation for yourself. People are more likely to work with someone who they know will add value to their projects. Adding value can be as simple as being punctual, respecting equipment, or even being optimistic. Small things stacked together can make a huge difference. Sometimes it's even worth putting time into a passion project, especially if it helps you building connections with new collaborators. Not only if you're just starting out, this can be a great way to get experience and meet people in the industry. I've done this a lot myself, especially when I was trying to establish my career. As long as I walked away with something valuable, whether it was something for my portfolio, a new connection, or more exposure, I saw it as a win. Even if the person I worked with couldn't pay me properly, I treated it as a long-term investment. Here's how I see it. If that person ends up with a bigger project down the line, they're more likely to hire you because they already know and trust you. Plus, you'll have gained experience and learned something new along the way. Oftentimes, it can help to add value first and play the long game. Number 3, staying connected. Networking isn't a one-time thing, it's an ongoing effort. After making initial connections, it's important to stay in touch and nurture those relationships. This can be done through social media, parties, or my favorite way, grabbing coffee with someone. This alone has increased my income last year, which is crazy to think of in this way. I believe this is where many people, myself included, often struggle. It requires being highly organized and dedicating significant time to build new relationships. However, the benefit of staying connected are immense. Not only can it lead to job opportunities and potential collaborations, but it also provides a support network of like-minded individuals who can offer advice, guidance, or just lend an ear when needed. And I like coffee. Overcoming fears. It's natural to feel intimidated by the idea of networking, especially for those who may be introverted or shy. I myself find the word networking a bit cringeworthy. However, that won't get us anywhere. One mindset shift is to focus on building relationships rather than promoting it yourself. Instead of going into a networking event or meeting with the goal of selling yourself or your service, approach it as an opportunity to get to know others and learn from them. When you take the pressure off self-promotion, you'll likely feel more relaxed and authentic in your interactions. Another helpful tip is to come prepared with specific questions or topics in mind to guide your conversations. This can help ease any anxiety about small talk and make it easier to connect with others on a deeper level. A great tip is to craft a concise personal pitch to clearly answer the question, "Who are you?" Practice delivering it in front of a mirror until you can present it confidently and effortlessly, almost as if you could do it in your sleep. After all, the things to take away or that building a strong professional network isn't just about making connections, it's about nurturing meaningful relationships. By crafting a concise elevator pitch and approaching networking with authenticity and sincerity, you can open doors to valuable opportunities. Actively listening and showing genuine curiosity about others fosters natural, mutually beneficial collaborations that can propel your career forward. As with all relationships, staying true to yourself and your values is a core component of genuine networking. And this isn't just something that I've read in some article. It's important to be genuine and authentic because people can sense when someone is being fake or insincere. Do you have additional perspectives or things to consider? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments down below. Thank you all for tuning in. I truly appreciate your support and the time you spend here. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.